We're going to assume that you've got an authentic culture. We're going to assume that you have begun to invest deeply into your team, but now you've got to communicate with them. And communication, we're talking about a wildly misunderstood term. There are so many parts to communication, right? The verbal aspects, the nonverbal aspects, the frequency of it, the methodologies around it. How are you communicating with your team, and is it truly bidirectional? I know definitively that everybody watching this and listening here has looked at a job and said, what were they thinking? I told them to do X. Wasn't it clear they needed to do Y? We showed them how to do Z. Well, clearly, either are they really that bad, or did we miss something in our communication we thought we shared? If you're going to communicate that everybody needs to wear a blue shirt and then you show up wearing a red shirt, your communication is breaking down because people aren't understanding what's being told to them and what matters. I'm staring over at this side of the job site when I'm telling you what to do on this one. Something about my communication made you think that concrete needed to go over here. Now, transparency is a funny thing. Sometimes I don't necessarily want everybody in the organization to know where we are from a profit standpoint. Maybe I don't really want them to know the struggles we're having with a particular customer. But you also want folks to know what's really happening at a level that they can absorb information and make better decisions. So if you're closed off with information, if nobody really knows what's going on, how can you expect them to make good choices? So transparency is an opportunity for you to encourage your team to see the world more through the lens that you do, and vice versa. You need transparency to what's happening at the job. If you've got a couple of guys that just aren't cutting it, but people are kind of covering for them because they don't want to get them in trouble, maybe the materials aren't delivered on time, they're happy to wait around. You don't know. If I don't know the materials are not at the job site because they're afraid to tell me, that's a really hard situation I put myself in. There's a big part of communication that is also about scale. There are different tools you're going to need to use as you expand your company. Maybe right now, if you're a small organization, you literally talk to Bob and Bob does what you need him to do and Bob talks to you in the field. As you get bigger, you may have 400 Bobs. How are you going to communicate effectively through that organization? And here's a really key part. How is Bob going to communicate back to you?